Hey, ladies and gents, how are y'all doing out there today? Thank you and welcome into the Almost 600 Strong, us, the 600 Strong, as we like to say on this podcast, who listen to a different view. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing out there? I hope y'all are having a powerful week. I know it's been some time since we spoke to each other. Shout out to Spotify for podcasters. Number one, a platform where people can speak and speak the truth on the thing, right? Speak factual evidence about something. Talk about what's going on in communities across the world and in your neighborhood, right? Your boy has had some issues lately with podcasting. Just learning how to edit and do the things that happen. And I say it, see, again, on this podcast, I want to break down all of the walls. There is no, if people put their trust in someone who can do a thing from an audio perspective or from a video perspective, when you put your trust in, it is the same thing in the Catholic world, as we just hop in, just little itty bitty something. Nothing. We ain't into no big things here. There is a little bit of a warning that we will leave y'all with today, because again, it's something to pay attention to. Okay, your boy been sitting here watching this Republican thing, and this is normally where people go, because this is the last defense in the mind. This is the last defense in the mind. All right, so the Democratic Party is evil. They use and twist the black vote, and the Latin vote, the Asian vote. They tell them they're going to do stuff for them and don't do anything for them. So, hey, let's go Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, go back in time. It don't matter what party. Whether back in the day when this nation was first created on these lands, when the United States was first created on these lands. So you got to talk a certain way, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the case. Do not assume, because the pirates set up the empire, that where they set it up on is also part of the empire. This is why you have such conflict between the so-called working person and non-working person, bosses and employees. Ladies and gentlemen, there's part of the equation, the link in the DNA, if you will, that is missing. So you see the effect of that, right? Number one, shout out to Donald Trump. I know some of that's going to shock y'all, but again, different view, ladies and gentlemen. This is not about killing government officials. They ain't I don't know how many different conversations I have had over the last couple of days talking on this situation, and I'm sure I'm going to have a bunch more. This is not about killing nobody. Can we clean up our neighborhoods, ladies and gentlemen? We are off on the wrong thing. Lord help us, man. Can the black man stop impregnating the black woman to the tune of 60 to 70% of single parent households? I know it's very easy, right? Because, see, us Bible believing folk, we got the example of how to blame the woman so. And especially if you're talking about one of these ideas out here that the darker skin toned folks are the original copy of humans, right? Now, again, we on this podcast know better that that's a very easy way out. So to say someone is original, then to say that the others are copy, then what happens? Because they're the copy, they got a different set of rules. Another reason why you see life the way it is, because people keep making this, we different than them. They, again, shout out to Kendrick Lamar, but they not like us is a very dangerous thing. Okay? No, you might not be like the pedophiliac out there. However, that don't make you separate from humanity. So how does that work then? You're going to lord it over the pedophiliac? You could not judge them properly if that was the case. Regardless of the sick acts they're doing to young children. It's just as sick as gunning them down in your neighborhood, isn't it? Like killing Ahmaud Arbery from the back of a pickup truck. Making excuses for it. Another one of those defenses in the mind. We got excuses a mile long for the sins we do, for the weakness, for the missing it that we do. Iniquity is a big old word, y'all. Whenever you see that word in the Bible or anywhere, iniquity means weakness. There's something in humans that's weak, that's out of place. Y'all excuse my little dog Fiona in the background. What's going on, little girl? Right? You got to talk to your animals, ladies and gentlemen, right? There's a certain deal that comes with dressing and keeping this planet. And y'all want these dogs, you got to train them in the way they should go for you and your household, right? No different than your babies when they leave your household and go out into the world, right? Because it's for them, training them, for them, not you. Whatever byproduct you get from having that baby, so be it. See, again, I think we look more possessive as kids, and then parents do this kind of, again, another part of a level of DID or just dodging subjects, which they'll deny by saying, hey, you know, you're not a parent, what you gonna say? And yes, while there is part of this that is apparent, okay, certain things as parents get that the non-parent don't get. The everyday, waking up early, going to bed late, dealing with your bratty kids from 0 to whenever, right? To when you die, in the unfortunate cases where they die. Again, stuff that goes on in the inner cities that y'all think the Republican Party gonna save you from. No, your government is for you. You are not for the government. See, that's the part people missing. The idea, and when you look, I was gonna go through something, but we just talking for a little bit. We're just shooting the bobo, ladies and gentlemen, as they say in the hood. We're just shooting the bobo. We're just talking. You have got to hold your government accountable. They don't hold you accountable. See, that's why we are tossed to and fro, to borrow a phrase from the Bible. That's not what this is supposed to be. Again, church folks, I go back to, and this is anybody, any religion, right? Hearing the words of Jesus, right? As the Jewish folks call it, as they are still looking for the Messiah. Christians believe that the Messiah has come and is alive, right? Islamic brothers and sisters look at Jesus differently, which is fine. They point more toward Muhammad, and that's fine. To each their own. Yet we are all cousins in the Abrahamic faiths. So again, as far as that peace in the Middle East, y'all stop fighting. Christians stop looking down on the other two like you're better than. You're grafted in. That's what the Bible talks about, don't it? You were once non-Jew, now you are in a family. We're just talking about what it talks about in the Bible, right? So how do you get to thumb your nose down at anybody? See, there's levels of no love here, no compassion here, no charity here. And in the cases of men and women, no chivalry here. You know, I was talking to a young lady a couple days ago. This idea of opening the door for women. Just talking to my wife about it too on the back end. There is something, it's talking about coming back to a spiritual base, ladies and gentlemen. There's something about doing something that honors somebody else. You know, and speaking to someone else as far as the boss is concerned, you know, as we like to say on this podcast, massa. See, because there's a difference between that king, which is most honorable and ruling, and then those that are very dictatorial or dictatorial, however you want to break down the word. Very mean and unfair. Unlike life, that is very fair. Ladies and gentlemen, get that on the inside of your mind and psyche. Life is fair. People are not. The tsunami and hurricane going on over there might be an earthquake or something going on over there. But on another part of the world, it ain't happening. Life is fair. But I'll tell you what is not. The people. So in those areas where those horrible tragedies occur, like Puerto Rico, big up in the Republican Party, to show you how far you fall. The U.S., see, not America, the U.S., because see, those islands were already part of the Americas when Europe came calling. So you forget. It's time to bring up to remembrance. Ladies and gentlemen, we edge closer to a level of freedom, exactly what should be on these lands. That's a real thing. Again, Shakespeare done already said it, this world's a stage. And the players are set. That don't mean you don't have free will, but it don't mean you running the game as you so choose. There's a difference. And we lose the responsibility part of this in this free-for-all Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory kind of, ooh, let's rush for the candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. We gotta stop, man. We how does that work? When the Monopoly Fest is over and all are dead, how does this work? This is not the design of the game, y'all. There is another way. Yeah, Yoda said it right. There's another way of doing this, ladies and gentlemen. And the problem is people don't want to. So you going to get a lot of, see, again, before you make it, and people choose to vote as they so choose. On this podcast, we don't do voter suppression. We're just letting you know that the game's highly rigged. So before you even go in to vote, they already have a certain set of values that they have placed above yours. So it don't matter the little bit of freedom or safety you might get in your neighborhood as a result of voting for a party that is quote unquote conservative and we're all about coming back to Bible based ethics in life. No. The poison spilling off the words like the venom coming out the fangs of a rattlesnake. We got to catch the play, ladies and gentlemen. They don't mean nothing for you no different than the Democratic Party. Talking about how much they love the black man. Y'all don't love the black. They keep throwing it around. And you know what? I was saying this because, again, life changes, ladies and gentlemen. Life changes. Look in Genesis when Joseph got traded off by his family. Talk about it, y'all, right? You get traded off by your family. Y'all know you all belong. We all belong to families, parts of our family that are okay. Trading us off for some shiny trinket that will rust and rot. That's what the Bible tells you. You got to get convicted about a thing, y'all. And it will change how you act on the job. It will change how you act in the supermarket. You won't be fighting for space when you go shopping for something. You ever go shopping, y'all? These folks act like they own the aisle you in. They own it. You share in the marketplace with everybody. Same thing you see on the road. These people act like they own it. You don't own it. You share it. But see, when you suck down the syrup, as we call it on this podcast, when you start believing like Massa do, that's where you think you own the thing. Now you can't even operate with people that you live around for either fear of them owning you or you trying to own them. Lord, we have messed it up, man. We have, but there is a level of salvation. There is a serious level of salvation where you come out from among them and be separate. You know, dealing with this whole thing with Chicago and getting into so many conversations I've gotten into lately, ladies and gentlemen. And it's good. You know, to my black brothers and sisters, y'all make yourself aware and around your own brothers and sisters. This goes for every culture, but we're talking specifically, right? General and specific speech. We're talking specifically to black folks. Y'all make yourselves available to talk to each other. We going through it out here, y'all. You think they give a damn about you? They don't give a damn about you. Not the mass majority. Very few do. And if you want the Wakanda-like level, I need y'all do me the favor and play this in the AME churches. Play this around your brothers and sisters, man. Again, we talking to our black brothers and sisters, man. It's time to clean it up. It's time to clean it up. They got liquor stores everywhere. places that you can get drugs and all this kind of stuff everywhere, doing nothing but damage to us. We ain't talking about the stuff growing out the ground that God put down. No, we talking about that which is man-made and manufactured to hurt people. You don't need 45 different, you go to especially these big cities, not the small ones. Small folks don't know about this. You know, that dude made that song about a small town. Small town folk don't really know about this to an extent. To an extent. Okay. This is not excluding anybody. We're just talking about how the differences unite us. Okay. You go in these big cities, they got these stores set up everywhere. And the more with this gun ownership, you're going to wind up seeing guns everywhere. Got to be careful. You get masses of people with guns in their hand, you're going to have Chicago's everywhere. I know folks want to say, KJ, that ain't going to, yeah, okay. Okay. And then all of the schools will have bulletproof glass in them. Then y'all won't have to worry about whether black on black crime's the problem because it'll be all over the place. You create a warlike environment. No different than when you read the history book, how it was going on in the 1200s and the thousands, the 1100s in England. Right? Look at Rome. Folks stabbing up Julius Caesar and all this mess. We watch this on the movies, right? You think it's a movie. Coronavirus was how long ago, ladies and gentlemen? How did that look? Especially with all the police brutality stuff and all that stuff went up in Oregon. Or Oregon, however you say it. Folks thinking this thing is a game. It's not a game. It's real. It's real. And don't let them play you and pull you which way they want to pull you. You put out your vote as needed for you. And that vote happens sometimes before you even hit the poll booth. It happens where you go shopping with your dollar. Which is why we need to spend our dollar. Again, we okay. I'm the first one. I love Asian food like nobody. We learn good, man, in the black community, in the hood community, right? Us one time, yeah. We learned that Asian food, man. Let me tell you something. We learned that Asian food. Fried chicken, Asian food. Shout out to our island brothers and sisters, right? All over. East and West Indies, man. Shout out to y'all one time. We love Asian food and island food and that Southern food, which is, for the most part, a lot of it is slave food. Still, we have a very, very deep connection to it because many of us are the descendants thereof. Somebody know a great-grandmama and a great-granddaddy that was a carpetbagger, slave, something. Y'all, right? Just saying what it is. Just like everybody like to play the DID like they don't know somebody in a family was a plantation owner and a slave master. If you want to correct the game, you've got to acknowledge it for what it is. And then once you acknowledge for what it is, start making the amends to bring balance. Or else stuff like that movie Civil War and other things will increase. We talking about bringing balance to it, ladies and gentlemen. We know it's not going away. You know, this is another one of these defenses in the mind. You can, come on, KJ, man. You know this stuff going to happen everywhere. We all know that. That's not the point of eliminating. It's the same thing happened in church whenever you get saved. You know, excuse me. You say you I'm sorry, y'all, but we going there, right? He who believes in Christ, a new creature. Old things have passed away, and behold, all things. Right? I'm just saying what it is. Then we get on it with the drum clapping and the, oh, yay. Right? No. You wake up to the same bills and the same pains in your body. It's a process, ladies and gentlemen. The earlier you start on that process, the easier it is, right? So learning about finances and learning about how to take care of your health, learn from this earth while they mess around with GMO and who trying to own all the stuff down here, ladies. We talking about documented stuff. There's ain't no conspiracy. We done shown y'all articles. 12 companies owning 80% of what you shop for in the supermarket. 4 companies owning the beef market. How much else do we have to keep seeing, ladies and gentlemen, that you think either the Republican or Democratic Party going to save you? You going to save you. You better make this government work. What are your values, ladies and gentlemen? Because that's what they play on with this whole thing. And I don't think people really know their values. They know what their grandmother and their great-grandmother and great-grandfathers and so on, griggity greats, as we say on this podcast, has told them. But what are your values? Do you want government more involved in your thing? Or do you want them less? And if they're involved one way or the other, are they involved for you? Because if they involved for you, it don't matter whether it's small or big, would it? Still something that you would have to take care of. Let's see another one of them. So transgender rights. Because again, there's articles online that show they coming for that next. Shocker. And I am being sarcastic because it's not a shocker. Again, guys, go back to what this land looked like. This ain't got nothing to do with holiness. We talking about witch hunt season, right? Wabbit season. Duck season. Wabbit season. Duck season. That's what it's coming back to, folks. You just pick which month instead of national months on what we should be looking at. It's going to be which one do we see. This is why when you talk about the purge, that thing is real, y'all. Come on. Who are we kidding? Just looks different, sound different than anything that walk and talk like a duck, quacks. That's a duck. That's not a Tudurkin. Okay? I know where y'all go with it, man. That's not what it is. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, these are just some things to look out for, okay? Because they talking don't mean they care about you, okay? They caring about them. And they need you to care about them and less about you. The way the name of the game is supposed to be is the other way around. All right? So, thank y'all for sharing this road here with me. We will talk to y'all soon. And as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.